Oh dear, it just gets worse and worse, doesn't it? So for those who don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo played his second game for Al-Nassr on Thursday, and so far his record reads 2 games, no goals, no assists, 1 elimination, and a -1 goal difference. And though people are actually shocked by this, for me they really shouldn't be, cause as I mentioned in my review of Ronaldo's debut, this shit didn't just pop up now. This situation seriously started in CR7's second spell at Stretford with the unsurprising and sappy sacking of the saintly and serene Solskjaer, and sustained through the span of the subsequent several seedy months, soon even stretching to the stint in Saudi he sadly suffered so far this season. In other, clearer words, here are 7 reasons, new and old, behind Ronaldo's underwhelming start at Al-Nassr. Let's roll on. Number 7, match sharpness. So let's just get the generic stuff out of the way first. Ronaldo began the 22-23 campaign without a pre-season, struggled with bad form throughout the first half, went to the World Cup on the back of that bad form, didn't get a run of games out there either, and then spent over a month without football. At 37 years of age. And if you can't draw a link between all this and his current predicament, I don't really know why you're here. But since you are, let me tell you something else. Despite what I just said, even if Ronaldo was 100% match fit as well as in scintillating form, he'd still have taken at least a few games to find his feet in Saudi. Why? A number of reasons, and I'm going to delve into each of them one by one, starting with number 6, the graveyard shift. Much like Manchester United, Al-Nassr are playing Ronaldo up front, and a little like Manchester United, Al-Nassr aren't creating many clear-cut chances for their centre forward, and since Ronaldo is playing up there on his own, this leaves him both extremely isolated and helpless, cause again, unless you're looking to counter, which they obviously aren't, playing with a lone frontman only works if said frontman is being fed, and right now, frontman not fed. Frontman hungry, frontman upset. Not to mention, number 5, frontman, not frontman. Okay, how many times are we gonna go over this? It's not very hard to understand, people. Cristiano Ronaldo is not, was not, and will never be a centre forward. Look, everyone who's watched him closely knows by now that even the modern day CR7's best position is a free role where he's allowed to hug the left channel at his convenience, and in order to do that, he'd need an unselfish and energetic strike partner who'd mostly occupy the centre of the pitch, just like Benzema did during the latter 2 years of the three-peat, like Mandzukic did in his first year at Juve, like Morata did in his last year at Juve, and like Cavani did in that one game against Tottenham before he probably stepped on an upturned plug on his way out of Old Trafford and subsequently ruled out for another 6 years. Christ, man. Though to be fair, in United's case, once Cavani was shelved again for the 48th time in 2 weeks, they didn't actually have another striker in his mold for Ronaldo to play alongside. This team, on the other hand, number 4, the Talisman. This here is Anderson Talisca. You may remember him from such exhibition football bouts such as PSG vs Riyadh earlier this month. And outside Ronaldo, he's undoubtedly the team's best forward, which in the mind of Rudy Garcia is the perfect reason to play him as a 10. Now, while he is actually doing a fine job there, in a team where you're planning to build around CR7, this isn't only far from ideal, but considering that Talisca actually has all the tools to play alongside his aging captain, it's also a huge missed opportunity. And if he is given that opportunity, he'll show you exactly what you have been missing. But maybe not straight away though, since number 3, the reality of the situation. So Al-Nassr are a club. A football club that decided to make a mega signing, give him the captain's armband, and build their team around him. All in the January transfer window. And people are surprised about the bad start? I mean, adjusting to a new league for any footballer at any stage of their career is tough enough as it is, just ask Messi. But the difficulty of even that pales in comparison to the challenge that is mounted in front of you when you factor in not only everything that's been mentioned above, but in addition, number 2, the reality of Ronaldo. Mate, I don't care how many of you aren't prepared to admit it, but I know for a fact that while I was diving into number 3, some of you were definitely thinking, but isn't Ronaldo supposed to be the king of adaptation? He dominates everywhere he goes, doesn't he? One size fits all and all that. And yes, that is the truth. It isn't, however, the only truth. Cause another truth be told, although this certainly isn't the first time CR7 will have to adapt to a different system, it may just be the most difficult. And that's nothing to do with him, his teammates, or the quality of the league. But simply put, it's to do with reality. The reality of Father Time. Basically, it goes like this. While his physicality and individual brilliance enabled him to consistently deliver despite Real's inconsistency with managerial appointments 10 years ago, if Ronaldo in the year of our Lord 2023, when he's older than your dad's favorite tortoise, still wants to be the focal point of a team at this stage of his career, he needs the team to be more well drilled and familiar with his game than ever before. For example, Al-Nassr's performance in the Super Cup the other day was very reminiscent of the games Ronaldo played for United this season. Whenever his teammates tried to pick him out, it usually went like this: look up, spot Ronaldo's run, adjust body position, and then attempt to execute pass, by which point the defenders already had enough time to both scan the move and react accordingly. And while a similar instance back in the day would have just resulted in the ball being floated into one of the channels anyway for Ronnie to chase down, these days he simply can't do that. So if you want to build a system to feed the modern day Ronaldo, both execution and timing of each move needs to be far more accurate, and for that you will need time. And although this by and large is something you can't really do much about straight away, it honestly does not help when it coincides with our final entry, which is number 1, his motivation has waned. Okay, so I don't know how surprising or unsurprising this is to you guys, but honestly, I'm surprised myself after saying those words. Unfortunately though, this may just be where we're at. Look, as he said himself, not only does he see football more as a business now, there are some days he just doesn't feel motivated. This, coupled with his general demeanor in the past year, vehemently portrays his inner discontent with the what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I even trying to gather evidence? Isn't him signing for a team in the fucking Saudi League enough proof on its own? And no, fuck off about he only signed because no one else wanted him. He'd made his mind up way before that. If he hadn't, he wouldn't have done that godforsaken interview with supposedly 0 European offers on the table. Idiots! Now, say that I am right about this and he has lost a bit of that legendary hunger that made him what he is today. Well, what would that mean from a practical standpoint? Does he not try as hard during games? No. Is he boycotting training sessions? No. Is he about to retire? Again, no. But you ever heard Ronaldo justifying his extra sessions post-training by saying, at the end of the day, the small details make a huge difference? This is where I believe he may be kicking back a bit from before. Cause fact is, you can only be as dedicated as this guy has been for the past 20 years or so if you love what you do with all your heart. And as sad as it is to say, it's pretty obvious that right now, this just isn't the case. However, knowing who he is and having followed his career for almost every one of those 20 years, I do think the hunger will come back. And once he does get that feeling of a good run of form one more time, then you best believe all bets are off. But for now, be patient, you f***ing imbecile. And that is that. Agree or disagree, beats indifference. Once again, don't forget to like, comment and share. And of course, subscribe. Till next time, you keep rolling.